Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophia, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue unpacking some Chinese expressions or set phrases that are translations of contemporary technology. And today we're going to talk about 遗传学 genetics. Okay, genetics is one English word. Here, Chinese have to pair it with three individual characters, and each carry a certain meaning. And given that Chinese often pair 学 study, any kind of field of study. So we have 数学means number study, that is our mathematics. 心理学, something about psychology, right? So we always have this 学 at the end. And even if it's your first time seeing this 遗传学, if you see the 学 at the end and a pair with some special terms that's not originated from the daily use in Chinese, it sounds like imported or translated, and then you know it's a field of study. So then it gives us to, okay, 遗传, then that means something related to genetic in heritage or lineage. And we indeed have this 遗 means heritage, means something precious to your tribe or to your individual that got walked away or passing down. And this passing is reinforced by this passing word. 传 means you're transferring. 传 sounds like transfer as well. And 传, wow, now 传 sounds like trans, right? That means from A to B, from one form to another form. That either it's a conversion or it's a dislocation from different locations. But 传 in Chinese have that meaning. It's almost like a very close mapping to the English trends. So there is this passing and there is this heritage, and together we put it in the context of a genetics. It's not something visible to us, and this is definitely a Western field of study. It was not. It was imported, so probably I don't know. Depending on when Chinese heard about genetics, and somebody came up with this translation, and this caught on. Probably in the early days, there are different versions of translation, but this one is the survivor of all versions. And that must mean like the language users, they voted. This is the one that's the closest possible rendering of what genetics means. Okay, so let's go deep into each one. This heritage, it was made of like at least three parts. The left part means walking. Walking makes up two parts again. The bottom part here, this cactus looking thing, is Chinese foot symbol. So just like Chinese like to use a three-finger hand symbol. So this is a three-finger hand symbol that looks like this. This is this basically mapped onto a 2D frame. Chinese somehow map three toe as a food symbol. Okay, this is the sole of the foot. And then this is the big toe, pinky toe, the rest of the toes. Okay, 3-foot toe symbol, toe, foot symbol. Okay, and then the 3 strokes are footsteps. So that means you're walking. Without the 3 footsteps, just by the foot symbol itself, it means stop, like standing still. So adding that 3 spatially differentiated, right? You can see the gradation, like from here to here to here, then that means walking. We have walking, then the right side have the 3-finger hand symbol, just like this study character have the 3-finger hand symbol. You don't often see that on the same slide. That this means it's somebody else's hand. This is your first person perspective hand. This is somebody else's hand. So it's most likely somebody else that you do transaction with, because the bottom is ancient currency symbol, which were made of seashells. So this is the abstraction of Chinese seashells. This you can view as the shell itself. So basically just a kind of a shell with stripes on them that shows the patterns on the seashell. And then these two things are the dangly soft body living creatures used to reside in the seashell, and that's a Chinese seashell, because without it, it looks like a Chinese eyeball. So we have to differentiate it somehow, right? So this seashell as an ancient currency then represent money, represent this transaction media. Okay, so somebody on the opposite side of you holding something, and you can almost view it as like it's opening this symbol is almost like opening, and then either taking in or giving out this currencies or money. So on the right side, this two-handed, some other person's hand holding or spreading out this structure, money, that Chinese concept of 贵, expensive, or things are costly. We can interpret it as it's during a transaction, you dealing with somebody else, and that person have to take in a lot of money. So it's expensive. You can interpret it just visually like that. So expensive things, walking, that means you lose something really expensive to you or dear to you, walked away. And that walking away expensive things then extended into Chinese sense of heritage, or something from the past that it carried up the values of the past, but it's no longer with you. It's a bygone era. Or put it in a family context, will be somebody who for your ancestors who are already long gone, but they have this knowledge or wealth or something dear to you, and they walked away. They are no longer with you. So that's Chinese sense of heritage. You probably have some part of them to remind, like a spiritual part of them, some kind of connection to them in some form. Therefore, you feel like you're a lineage. You inherit their knowledge or their values that are dear to you, but the original holder of that value item is already walked away, already gone. Okay, passing. This chuan have the left side a human figure. That's a typical human figure, just two legs standing being. And the right side is the ancient practice of spinning or fabric making procedure. So the three trident looking thing, you can view it either as a mechanical part that's looking like that, or it's a tree, no, it's a plant symbol. So plant symbol have this trident looking thing and transformed through this spinning thing, then connected with this circle probably is a handle on that spinner. So what spinning is mostly fibers from nature, either cotton, flax, or silk. They're fiber form in nature, and they have to be combined together to make it into thread for humans to be able to use to make them into garments, right? They have to first make fabric, and before fabric, have to make threads before they got woven or knit into fabric. I know all of that because I studied that a long time ago. And this spinning process is a critical plant fiber conversion to thread that humans can use in their apparel or fabric production. Okay, so this hand with this one single line pointer, that's 1 inch down your wrist, and that's the pulse reading location. And this pulse reading used to be this medical diagnosis, common practice by the Chinese ancient times doctors. I guess in today's medical field, some doctors still keep that ancient technique just by pulse reading. You can detect a lot about the internal workings of that patient's internal climate, I guess. And this eventually means you do things by the exact measurement. You have your rule setting or best practice over there, because this is the best location to read somebody's pulse. So this 1 inch down the wrist then becomes the the icon for you are following some set of rules. And this rule following with spinning process, then together have this specialty or specialization. And it involves with this cyclical motion of spinning, right? And it's between, it adds the human figure on the side. So that almost, you can view it as passing down between person. And indeed, in ancient times, this chuan was the ancient post service. Ancient times, the road, the traveling was much harder, right? Not freeways, not railroads, far not. And so ancient times are mostly relying on chariot or horses. So animal energy captured to travel far and to send message from one location to somewhere relatively far. Back then, that's not easily achievable just on foot. It takes too long, right? This horse riding message passing postal service system was back then followed by having kind of their parcel service back then, that you're not going to use one horse from A to B, and that's too expensive, right? That's like just to deliver one thing, you hire one person, one horse. So the whole system have to share some common traffic routes and then have the last mile solution back then somehow. But the main system set up would be having stations, and then passing down between the stations. And this passing down with this person, with this spinning, following a set of rules was the ancient postal service. And so this passing, then this postal service became obsolete, right? We don't really use that system. I mean, even if contemporary USPS kind of similar, operating in a similar way, but the ancient way was like much harder to understand. And I can only imagine this postal service, then by gone, we are left with this passing, the sense of something transferring from A to B. In this case, yichuan is your cultural or genetic heritage, that something dear to you, that person is gone, but somehow it's passing down to you through what? Genetics, through your genetic coding, that even if that person by gone, holding something dear to you, visualized by this money sign, that you somehow get their heritage through this passing, as if it's an ancient postal service passing. It's from A to B and probably through generations, right? Different stations passing down. Just imagine that intricate family tree, like how you get your share of genes. It's pulled from so many different families, finally get to your knot, to your final point of the gene holder. It's this intricate network of genetic passing through the postal service look-alike network. Okay, 学, again, we have this two hand symbol holding up or down. That means somebody else's hand, not your first person hand, because first person now is this baby looking thing. Okay, the big head with two hands holding up with torso, that's baby. And the big arch is the shelter. So that's a safe place for the baby to study. And this two hands simply is teachers or advisors, whoever are leading the person on their journey of learning human knowledge. And the two crosses up top could be viewed as the network of knowledge, that you eventually not just accumulating data points, you have to build up your network of understanding things, how things are interconnected. So that's a Chinese definition of study. And as I said at the beginning, the study eventually was picked out to combine with all kind of specific domains to create the field of study. 遗传学 in Chinese will simply be the translation of genetics. And that's it for today. Thank you for your time. See you another day.